to the channel. Most of you might have seen this video. It's my last video on how to make a generator with aluminum wire, but as you saw in that video, it didn't work because aluminum has a lot of resistance and it couldn't really generate. Maybe with more turns, more wire, more length and all of that, it might have a chance against copper, but currently we all know that copper is in the lead. So right now I'm just unwinding the aluminum because I want to replace the wire with a copper wire. I'm kind of adding some tape to cover the screw so that it won't really come in contact with the copper wires. Now with all that done, all that is left to do is wind it. Now I'm using a 0.2mm wire. And right now the first thing you need to do is make out some length, so that in the end, after your windings and everything, you can now be able to connect your terminals to it. Now we're going to start the winding. Now be mindful of how you do this because you really need the wires to come really close to each other. You really need the wires to be very close to each other to maintain a very minimal, if possible, to maintain no gaps between them. As you can see here, I'm trying as much as I can, slowly and steady, to cover every gap, even though it's not a perfect anyway, but in the end it will be. Now I'm still using the old method I used in the aluminum video. This is a neodymium magnet, very small, but they are very powerful. Now all I'm going to do is put those magnets north and south facing each other in that orientation. So all I have to do here is just glue the magnets to the shaft of the motor, and now you can see a white wrap around the shaft of the motor. That's because I used some paper to make the shaft a bit enlarged so that it can accommodate the magnets. Now after gluing, adding some glue on the shaft, you can now add your magnets. As you can see here, it took me some time to really know which one was the north and the south, and then after putting them, you now add some glue to hold them down. And I made a little mistake by pushing the magnets too deep into the body of the motor, so all I had to do is just pry it out with some box cutter or some box knife. Now all you have to do is bring the wire. All I did here is bring the wire and make sure that there is very little clearance so that the magnet can be as close as possible to the screw, so that it can have better effects on the windings on the copper. Now after that, I added some power to it, just 3 volts, 2.7 volt battery. but I didn't show you this. It ended up not generating that much. I think it was around 0.5 volts and thereabouts, and it wasn't really impressive, so I had to add more windings to it to increase the voltage. Now after doing that, I think now the total windings came out to be around 1000 to 1005 tons. I can't really remember the count. Now the same method, I glue down the copper next to the magnets, and now here all I'm using is just some alligator clips attached to a little LED bulb, and this LED bulb, I think they take like 2 to 3 volts to light up, just to light up, and then around 5 volts to really become very bright. Now this time around I decided to use 7.4 volts, and as you can see, it really did a wonderful job. Now we can come to the conclusion that adding more windings or more wire to the screw really helped to boost the voltage. Now I think it's coming out around 2 or 3 volts. I can't really remember. One problem I had during the shoot was because of the vibrations of the motor, the whole board, the whole base of the motor was shaking, and I needed a way to put it down and then hold the light at the same time. And don't forget that I'm also holding the battery. That's why I'm trying all these steps, moving the camera this way, doing it that way, finding a good spot for it to really be better. But in the end, I found a solution. I decided to use tape on the paper because I'm using a white paper as a background. So after using the tape, it really worked out very well. So now as you can see, the light is really bright and it's really encouraging, because such projects, I think it took me like 2 hours to make this whole video. So thanks for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe. Please let us reach 1000 subscribers before the end of June. Thank you and goodbye.